Hey guys, Dan here with Battlefield Curator. I just picked up a Colt law enforcement carbine. That's right, police trade-in. Let's go check it out. Let's talk about it. And is it worth it? All right, so I've kind of been in the market looking for a Colt AR-15, somewhat similar to the M4 that I might have used during the Iraq War. Now, Colt has some rifles that are pretty much clones of the global war on terrorism style M4s that you might have seen downrange. But because they're new made, the price tag is a little bit much. So how did I get around that? Well, I was looking for police surplus, police trade-ins. I found Glocks, I found shotguns, and now ARs. Well, ARs have been on the market for a while. Anytime police forces really just get new, updated equipment, they tend to sell off a lot of the old stuff to surplus, including their weapons. Recently, I posted videos about shotguns and a Glock, and those were from other websites like Sportsman's Outdoor Superstore, but I found this from AIM Surplus. Now, these models of Colt are known as the LE6920s, essentially semi-auto version of what the military might have used, the M4A1. I got this one in hopes of making an M4A1 clone, and it did not disappoint. Going over the rifle itself, I noticed that the bolt, pretty much, yeah, it's Colt marked, but it has a cutout section on the bottom of the bolt carrier there. And that means it's a semi-auto only, and it's not mil-spec. Kind of a letdown, but what do you expect? Law enforcement trade-in. I also noticed that the magazine release button at some point was switched out. It's got this weird bronze color. Either way, I think it's still a piece of history, piece of Colt history. You know, they issued some of these to the civilian world with these semi-auto only bolts, and you know, that's going to remain a part of history. But it is kind of sad. Looking at the exterior, the rifle actually came really clean, so I lightly cleaned it. It didn't have a lot of gunpowder residue, so it might have been lightly used or been in the back of a patrol car. That's my guess. A lot of these were in the back of patrol cars, and they ended up taking over the role of shotguns. Police forces might have had both shotguns and the ARs in the back of the squad car. Now, going over the rest of the rifle, you notice that it does say Colt Law Enforcement Carbine 5.56. It also says for military and police use only on the other side. On the top of the barrel, it is marked C for Colt 5.56 1-in-7 twist, and it is not marked Colt Canada. But what is Canadian is the upper. That's right, this is a Diemaco upper, which means that the upper was made in Canada. Canadian-made uppers are pretty sought after, mainly because Colt needed to get the ball rolling on the Iraq wars with these carbines, and guess what? Diemaco was part of that rollout for the military and police. Now, this carbine was marked 2003 on a sticker that I found, and the serial range does put it in about that time frame. Now, because I wanted to make it look like the M4A1 that would have been used by the US Army during the Iraq wars, I started finding some components for it. I've actually already had some components, so I made it look like something that we would have used downrange. Speaking of range, we took it for a range test. This here is a copy of what I would have used when I was in the military. What do you think about it?
You want me to say what I said before?
Yeah.
I say it looks intimidating.
Intimidating?
I don't want to.
Why does it look intimidating? Oh, you'll have fun. Now, what'd you think of that?
Still intimidating.
Oh, it looks like you were having fun, though.
Yes, I was. Maybe a little too much.
Controlled shooting for the YouTube. So yeah, maybe it does look a little intimidating to some people, but you know what? You're gonna have fun shooting it at the range, and it's actually a lot lighter than it looks. Now, I did make it look a little bit more militaristic, but hey, that's just part of what collectors do, military surplus collectors do, you know. And so if you're going to go authentic, you're going to try to do the best you can with what you got. Overall, I had a great time taking this one to the range. It did not disappoint. The condition was pretty good for being a law enforcement used weapon. A little let down though with the bolt. And the main question that I know you're asking is, but Dan, how much did you really pay for it? Because is it worth it? Well, I got it off the website for $700. And if you look at some of the newer Colts that are made, the M4 Carbine clones, they're gonna run you about $1,200 or so. So yeah, if you're looking for a law enforcement trade-in rifle, you could check out some of these. You could get a pretty decent price on them for cheaper than what you can get elsewhere. And these are somewhat historic because, especially the Colts, they go back through different forms and they have different handguards. Like the handguards on these are the double heat shielded ones in the insides. So these are pretty historic handguards. You might find some that might have like the retro buttstocks on them, like the old school buttstocks on them. Definitely a cool piece of history. I didn't intend to become a Colt collector this year, but hey, I've gotten a couple of Colts as it is already. So I think that's where we're looking at, is good deals and brand name, a well-known name in the military collecting community. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Are you looking for a law enforcement trade-in rifle? Do you have a law enforcement trade-in rifle? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments section. And as always, be sure to learn history and curate history. Pulverize the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Make it a great day.